Hello everyone, so here we are with Final Fantasy Ultima Archive Volume 3. I don't have a lot of experience with these games, to be perfectly honest. I only played 10 and I played a little bit of 14. This is where the series just, through no fault of their own, because they're just trying to make good games, but they just kind of totally lost me. So let's go ahead and get it open here. This is going to be pretty much the same layout as the other two. You've got the art at the very beginning, you've got the characters, you've got the world, monsters, and then the extra content. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, to be perfectly honest. So obviously we start with 10. You've got all the nice little different versions of the cover here, including the PlayStation 4, where they packaged it with 10-2. And that was a weird one for me. Like, I never thought of an actual sequel to a Final Fantasy game before, but, you know, whatever. I had a friend who played it, and he really liked it, but I was just so turned off at that point. I just did not really care about them, and frankly, I had moved on to other games. But the artwork, again, is just really, really good. You can definitely tell they put a lot of time into this. It's a very, very nice book. And just very, very good, great artwork. Now, just from playing 10, the only real memories I have of it, it had a really good story. And there was just something with it. It reminded me way too much of the way 8 was set up, and also the way, like, they set up Final Fantasy II, where there was just something missing from the whole thing. And this is really just kind of a sore spot for me, just going back over this one, because 10 was really, really the one that just killed the franchise for me. And it's just my own personal thoughts. I know a lot of people really like 10, and I can see why, because there's a lot of really great stuff in it, but yeah, I don't know, maybe I was just burnt out with it or something. If I went back and played it again, I would most likely have a very different experience from the first time. Again, just really amazing artwork. We're not gonna focus too much. The monsters look really good, and this is obviously the first one on the PlayStation 2, and it just looked way better than 3 on the PlayStation. 9 really looked great. 10 just blew 9 away, in my opinion. Mostly because they were just a lot more comfortable with the way things were back, at least on the system. So it worked out really, really great. It's getting a little bit too far ahead of myself here. Let's go through just some of the extras in here. Are just really, really cool, just like the previous book. There's just a lot of really great content, a lot of wonderful like concept art and all the other stuff. It's really, really cool. But let's just keep right on moving here. 11 was the other one that just blew me. I didn't understand it. Like, why would you call it Final Fantasy 11 Online? Why didn't they just call it Final Fantasy Online? But, you know, whatever. This is another one that I didn't play. I kind of wish I did, but unfortunately I did not. And again, just the artwork seems to get better and better in these volumes as they keep going. And we're just gonna skip right along here. Again, sorry, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but just very, very great. If you're just looking for an art book, this is a really wonderful one. We're just going to jump ahead to 12 really quick and just grab these. These are really cool drawings. And just keep going. And then we get into 12. And I was told by a friend of mine when this came out, like when I was still in the Navy, and I was going on one underway or another. I can't remember exactly when. But a friend of mine had this, and he told me I should really try it out, but unfortunately I just missed out on this one. Again, this is just just really, really great artwork. I cannot get over just how wonderful it is in this book. Just absolutely fantastic. Now, this isn't exactly how the game looks, but, you know, it's fine. It looks really, really cool. And we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit here. Just because a lot of this is really like, it's really cookie cutter the way that these books are now, because they're all kind of laid out the exact same. And so we're gonna go ahead and jump ahead. Just gonna get a little bit of the extras in here, because the extras really do kind of tie a lot of this stuff together and everything. Get to see some of the ways that they were thinking about the different vehicles, and just a few of the drawings for them and everything like that. They look really, really awesome. Almost makes me want to go back and play it, but oh well. I might at some point. Just probably not right now, just a little bit too busy. Now, Final Fantasy 13 is I've heard a lot of people didn't like it. I've seen a few of my friends that said this was one of the worst. I don't have anything to really say about it. It was the only one on the PS3, as far as I know. Well, 14 might have been on the PS3, I'm not really too sure. But because it's the PlayStation 3, it's probably going to look the best out of them at this point. Yeah, it looks, at least the artwork looks really nice in this. And I know I'm really just kind of flying through this really quickly, but I don't really have a lot to add, to be honest with you. We'll get to some of these right here. Just, again, I cannot get over just how wonderful they made all of the artwork in this book. And the monsters look okay, just from this brief shot at them. Now that looks really cool. Like, the Titan looks really awesome. This is like the first time I'm actually really looking at it. I flipped it through a little bit earlier, but I didn't take like a really hard look at this book. Mostly because I wanted to be surprised while I was going through it, and I am pleasantly surprised by most of it. A few things that I'm not, but those are pretty minor, if I have to say the least. So, that was pretty much 13. Now we get into 14. So I did play this one a little bit. Okay, yeah, it was on the PlayStation 3. Okay. So I did play this a little bit on the PS4, and it's an MMO. I can't really say too much about it. I personally didn't like it very much. I have a friend who played it a lot and really does love it, but again, it's just one of those things. Like, I kind of burnt myself out on Final Fantasy, and you know, I don't really know what else to actually say about it. The art, again, looks absolutely stunning. And we get into some of the different characters and classes. This was something that was kind of weird to me. I was like, why didn't they just call them mages and whatnot? But whatever. I was not designing the game at all. Anyway, that is pretty much it. I don't know if they're going to do a Volume 4 or not, but if they do, I hope that they actually go into some of like the offshoot games, like Tactics and that sort of thing. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day, and let me know what you think in the comments below, if you liked it or if you hated it. Talk to you later. Bye.